All right.
Okay, for my topic, I want to talk about improving the efficiency of hydrogen fermentation using a multiple stage process, or multiple stage processes. First of all, a little background on biohydrogen. Hydrogen is an important commodity throughout the world. It's used for several important uses, including upgrading fossil fuels to make them more rich in hydrogen and have more energy. You can produce ammonia in the Haber process with nitrogen, which is probably the largest use of it. It's also a way to store energy, or an energy carrier. It's not necessarily considered an energy source because currently or chemically you actually need more energy to produce the hydrogen than you actually get out of it by combusting it. There's going to be, as of 2009, there's about a 70 million ton demand for it with a 7% yearly increase. Currently, all the hydrogen is produced through fossil fuels in one way or another, either from chemical processing of petroleum or through electrolysis, which requires electricity, and therefore fossil fuels, most likely. Another source for hydrogen that's being looked at right now is biohydrogen. It's a renewable source of hydrogen because the feedstock can be some sort of sugar or some sort of plant mass. And it has a potential for a decreased environmental and economic footprint in terms of costs and resource usage. One of the most common ways to produce hydrogen is through dark fermentation, and this is like heterotrophic fermentation using glucose, sucrose, or other feedstocks. And you can utilize a couple different microorganisms. You can use microflora from like wastewater sludge if you pre-treat it with high temperatures and destroy the methanogens from that mixture. You can also use certain bacteria. You can use like Thermatoga, which is a thermophile, or you can use Clostridium, which is it's a more lower temperature bacteria, but you also have to sterilize that culture. And you can also use algae, which is one of the first organisms looked at for producing hydrogen. Generally, the reaction that goes here is you have glucose, and you produce 4 moles of hydrogen, 2 moles of carbon dioxide, and 2 moles of acetate, ideally. Experimentally, some of the maximum yields is 3.8 moles of hydrogen to about 1 mole of glucose. But as a byproduct of this, you have these waste fatty acids such as acetate, butyrate, and these can have negative environmental impacts. They have a high COD value, and also they have a low pH. So if you were to just discharge that will lead to environmental problems. Another source for hydrogen is photofermentation, and this uses autotrophic organisms that ferment these short fatty acids in an anoxic environment. These utilize light, photosynthetic and purple non-sulfur bacteria such as Rhodobacter can ferment these. And the general reaction there is this acetate plus light gives you hydrogen and some other byproducts. And experimentally, they found you can produce about 1.5 moles of hydrogen for about a mole of acetate. And this removes almost all the fatty acids from the initial substrate and is very efficient depending on your light intensity and the penetration in your reactor. So what I want to look at is the combined fermentation using both of these steps. And the advantage is it takes a waste product of your dark fermentations and uses it as a feedstock for your light fermentations. It increases your overall mole efficiency to about 6.81 moles of hydrogen to about 1 mole of sucrose in one piece of literature I looked at. And it also reduces the waste streams to COD. But some disadvantages to that is the microorganisms require 2 different reactors because they have different environmental conditions that really don't work well together in the same reactor. And some additional stages I want to investigate in addition to that are an electrochemical assistance for generating hydrogen. At Penn State, they have an electrolysis microbial fuel cell where you add a small voltage and it actually allows you to produce hydrogen. Also looking at enzymatic hydrolysis as a pre-treatment, so you can break down more complicated polysaccharides and they'll be more easily fermentable. And also another method is photofermentation of glycerin, which one study found that certain microorganisms, phototrophic organisms, can ferment glycerin into hydrogen. And also metabolic engineering of different bacteria. You can increase the hydrogen output, decrease the usage of certain feedstocks. That's what I wrote. Any questions?
What it was 6.81 moles of hydrogen per mole of sucrose. Did they have any like glucose down?
They didn't. They just did it on sucrose. So. I don't know. I was kind of interested in glucose too.
I was trying to see those references. I can't see those. That's another example of.
They're just
Can you pop that up again? I mean, go to. Yeah, see, that's real hard to read.
Yeah.
So most, okay, are these peer-reviewed journal articles, or are they?
These are all peer-reviewed
Okay,
articles.
they're off their PDFs. Okay, that are, okay, all right, good.